We're back, got a new job, and 10 points to the Hogwarts house of your choice if you can tell me which country this lot are from. Okay, well, it's been a few months, but we've got a new job, and we are headed to Northern Ireland with a club called Institute. They are in the middle of their season, and last I saw, they only had 1 point. So that's the reason they got rid of their old manager. Now, talking of getting rid of managers, we had a little bit of trouble leaving Holder because, to paraphrase our glorious Prime Minister, Holder by name, Holder by nature. My contract ran out, I let it run out, and I was just there on a month-to-month deal. I couldn't leave without resigning, and I didn't want to resign because we know what happened last time. But I gave it like a month, which was wasting my time and theirs. And eventually I decided that I'm going to have to just resign. And it doesn't seem to have caused me any problems because this is the first job I went for. It was the first one in the top flight of one of the 25% band of nations. And yeah, straight up gave me the job. And we're about to see what sort of squad we've got. Okay, well, I've had a bit of a look at the squad. I won't drag you through all of them, but I will go through my reasoning for what we've done. We've set up the tactic, and yes, it is incredibly defensive, but we are not very good for this level. So what I'm hoping is that these two central attacking midfielders will sort of bomb on and support the pressing forward. And I did initially have wing backs, but then I kind of realised that we didn't really have much in the way of any backups if they go down, whereas we have got wide midfielders. Most of them can't play defensive winger, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So if we go back to the squad, I mean, Gareth Buchanan, solid all-round keeper, lacks a bit of agility and positional awareness, but basically not too bad. Now, centre-backs, we've got McGuinness, whose first name I'm not going to attempt, and then Joel Bradley Walsh, which I'm sure there's a joke in there somewhere. He is a decent centre-back, certainly for this level. I mean, his lowest, I mean, his concentration's a little bit weak and he's not overly strong, but he is decent for this level. And McGuinness, again, is fairly solid. Again, lacking in a couple of areas, but not too bad. Now, Shane Coyle, we've got as our sort of cover behind those two, basically because he's got enormous amounts of pace. Lacks a bit of composure and positional awareness. So again, a few weaknesses, but generally physically not too bad. He is out on loan, but I have recalled him from loan, so hopefully he will be coming back to us. And now, Sean Doherty is a bit of a sort of, I mean, he can play defensive midfield, but doesn't really know the position, but he's the one who's got the attributes that fit it. And I mean, he's one of our better all-round sort of fits for the position they're playing, to be perfectly honest. Now, Andrew McGrory, who apparently his contract is up at the end of the year, and he might be the only one because it was the only one it told me about. And I mean, he's more suited probably going forwards, but we've got him on sort of like defensive winger. I mean, yes, he can't mark or tackle, but again, we just need sort of people sort of filling in that. I mean, I needed to find a way to fit him in the side without getting all horribly asymmetric and bent out of shape. On the other side, Connor Quigley, who can actually tackle and is a natural sort of defensive winger, so he can mark, he can tackle. So generally defensively solid. He should be fine over there. And then now we've got Rory Harkin doing the deep line playmaker role. As you can see, passing, vision, decisions, technique, all pretty good. Little bit weak off the ball, and his physicals are poor, but then he is 35, so he is definitely going to have to be replaced at some point in the very near future. And actually, when's his contract run out? Who does a contract in a normal autumn-winter season that runs out halfway through the year? I hate those contracts. And then we've got Jake Francis, central midfield attack on one side. Not really overly suited to it, but we'll see what he can do. It's not a disaster. Technically, a little bit missing, but mentally and physically, he's okay. And Aidan Macaulay on the other side, again, not really built to be a central midfielder on attack. Yeah, lots of sort of weaknesses there, but again, fairly good physically, got good pace, so hopefully he'll be able to get forward. Not sure he's got the stamina to get back again, but... And up front, Liam Walsh pressing forward because basically... Well, pressing forward on attack, because wasting that 15 finishing wouldn't have been sensible. I mean, the man's got a balance of a newborn foal, and physically he's a bit sort of hit and miss. He can run fast, but will probably fall over. And mentally, not great. Decent finishing of first touch, but he just can't really do anything else up front. I mean, as a poacher, he can't head the ball. He lacks composure. And yeah, his mentals for a poacher are not great. We have got a little poacher on the bench, kind of, in Gareth Brown. I mean, again, it wants to make him a pressing forward. Well, he could probably go on as a pressing forward. I think I have got a little youngster somewhere down in the depths who might be a decent poacher at some point. But and then yeah, the bench is a bit hit and miss. We've got probably a decent defensive winger back up on the left, so left side we're fairly well set because we've got Colin Quigley and Jamie Dunn. We can probably do the job that I'm asking them to do pretty well over there. Jack McLean, Mark McFadden, Cormac Burke, I've recalled all three of them from loan as well. Burke obviously is injured. McFadden unfortunately is unregistered at the moment. So we might have to wait a bit to be able to use him. I've got him on the bench at the moment because there's not really anyone else who should be on. Actually, maybe I'll stick Carl in on there. Carl is a little youth bod that we've brought up, who is actually a central midfielder on attack. Again, a few weaknesses, but I mean, he's 16. The physicals aren't good, but hopefully he will develop. Quite nice, especially if we give him a bit of game time. And yeah, I mean, the reserves have got a few sort of possibly okay players. They look better than they are, I think. 3-star at this team really still doesn't make it all that good. And unfortunately, I mean, this one is sort of like, if we want to play him as a defensive winger, we just can't. Because if you look at this, marking 1, tackling 1, positioning 2, I mean, he's going to be out of position in seconds. And a lot of the rest of them are kind of like that. And again, we've got possible potential down here in the under 18s, but not really in the formation that I'm kind of playing at the moment. But what we want to do obviously is try and mould the squad into a different shape. I mean, the aim we've got so far is to try and avoid, the relegation play. Oh no, to finish in the relegation playoff. So weirdly, specifically, we want to finish exactly 11th. But basically, it's avoiding automatic relegation that's the key. Which at the moment we are, because they have managed to win a game since I actually looked at the league table. So it must have taken them a while to get me into this job. I know I did wait a little while before I applied for the job, and they must have got that win against Bangor shortly after I actually saw them. Yes, they must have done, because they didn't have a point until they played Coleraine. So yeah, and then they beat Bangor, who are actually bottom without a win. So not a shining endorsement of quality, is it, having beaten Bangor? But yeah, it will be all about trying to push ourselves as far away from preferably 11th, but certainly 12th as possible, and spending the first, sort of like the run up to the new year, because I presume it's a January transfer window. Let's have a look. Transfer windows, yes, January transfer window. So thank you, phone. Let's move you over there onto a slightly softer surface so you don't buzz and annoy me again. So yeah, I mean the other thing we've got, I think one of the Club Vision things is maximum 1 year contracts for players over the age of 32, and this McGrory is 32. So if we are going to re-sign him, then it's not going to be for long. I haven't actually had a look yet to see who the sort of the high earners are. He is one of them, and we don't have a huge amount of wage budget, and a wage budget is actually about half of what it was at Holder. And we are semi-pro, whereas Holder were fully pro. So, I mean, what we've got is a Rory Harkin who is not, well, I mean, he's decent, but he is 35. When's he out of contract? Oh yeah, he's the one who's out of contract next December. And Andrew McGrory, who is, again, sort of decent, but not really in the position we're using him at the moment. He would be better in a more attacking role, but I don't know if I can really afford a more attacking role without decent fullback. What I need is some decent fullbacks, because that's what this team doesn't really have particularly. Because I mean, McGrory can play fullback, but he's not really a fullback. That tackling and marking are not the tackling and marking of a fullback. And I mean, who else have we got there? I mean, Joel Bradley Walsh. No, he's not a fullback either. Really. No, I wouldn't say he's a fullback. I mean, his marking and tackling are good, but that's because he's a centre back as well. Now, I mean, Connor Quigley could probably happily drop back to fullback. Him, I can see doing a job there. So, I'm beginning to doubt myself now as to whether. What was that? Connor Quigley on the left. Gormley. Can Gormley do fullback? His physical's terrible. He really needs replacing. What about Rhys McDermott? Is he a fullback? Good physicals, not a lot else. Technicals are terrible, so. And Sam Hamill. Now, Sam Hamill. Now he's a little youngster that I have just put up into the first team squad. And yeah, I mean, his technicals aren't great, but they're not as bad as some people's. His mentals are not too bad for a 16-year-old, and his physicals should improve. So I don't know. I mean, do we just go with fullbacks instead of these defensive wingers? I may go fullbacks. Oh, where have we gone there? Right, tactics, please. Thank you. Right, let's drop you back to there. Right, I'm going to play 5-1-3-1. It's a very weird formation. No, not fullback on. There, right, fullback support. Okay. Right, now, bearing in mind now that we are using fullbacks, no, we haven't got any fullbacks there. And have we got, now, see, we've got Jamie Heaney here, who, again, might be worth pushing up into the first team squad. His marking and tackling are okay, good teamwork work rate, physicals aren't a disaster, he's only 15. Yeah, I think Jamie Heaney can probably get himself pushed up into that senior squad. So, I mean, he's going to be behind like Dunn and Quigley, but you know, he'll be useful to have around there. I think if you compare him to Shea Ferguson, let's have a look. Jamie Heaney. Yeah, well, there's not a lot of difference between them, and Shea Ferguson is 6 years older. So I think Shea Ferguson might be someone we'll look at moving on. Right. Well, I think that's about as good as we're going to get there. So, yeah, next time you see me, we'll be managing our first game in Northern Ireland. Right, you join us just ready for our first game in Northern Ireland. I'm not expecting anything great from this at all. We'll do the opposition instructions that we're advised. As you can see, tactical familiarity is not great. Actually, let's just have a quick skim back here and look at the dynamics. I mean, the team cohesion is actually good. Managerial support is poor, apparently. Well, I have a good reputation compared to you, so why don't you... we'll turn them round. Club atmosphere isn't a disaster, considering how bad they've been. So, yeah, well, that's not too bad. Okay, right, let's go to the team selection. I mean, this is the team I was going to go with, so let's go with it. Oh, okay. Oh, some high numbers there. Lovely. Submit numbers. Crack on. Right. Okay. They have made 10 changes to their starting lineup. Okay, someone talking about McGuinness looking tired there. Have I not taken that into account? You're not that bad. It's fine. Right. Let's go. I doubt anyone's listening. Oh, I know. There's a few. There's a few. I've just made one of them not listen to me by telling someone else. Yep. Okay. Right, so yeah, long-term project. Don't expect miracles. As if I say you need to start scoring more goals. Well, we need someone to score them. We haven't got anyone good up front, have we? So, right, goals are everything in this sport. I mean, that is what it's all about, isn't it? First goal, well, it'll be nice to start well. Right, okay, now we play in claret and blue, I believe. Ironically, the colours of the actual Aston... Well, I said the actual... No, they are the actual Aston Villa. I mean, that would have been who Aston Villa, Antigua and Barbuda were named after. Okay. Right, enough of that. Oh, no, okay. Oh, you've got to get rid there. He's offside. He's offside! Thank you, linesman, assistant, whatever your name is. See, I called that. I could do that job. Oh, right. Whiteside, famous name from Northern Ireland's past. Oh, well, that was good, wasn't it? I don't exactly know. I don't even know what you were doing here. How did this fall straight to him so he could just thump it in? Okay, comes over, missed header, hits the one of you behind who sort of like went like that out of the way of it, and just fell to McElroy. Okay. Yep. This is why we're down near the bottom, boys. Yeah. Okay. Still awaiting the first shot of my reign. Yay! It was terrible, but we've had one. Oh my god, what are you lot doing back there? Okay, well, it's fallen to Quigley, who's just immediately turned around and gone backwards. Okay, Francis knocked over the top. Oh, it's a penalty! Who takes our penalties, I wonder? Harkin smashes it home. Rory Harkin. First goal of the season. Not surprisingly, I don't think we've scored that many. Well, if I was Ballymena, I'd be really miffed at this point. Okay, half time, 1-1. We've been the better team here. We so haven't. What game is my assistant watching? Must be watching something different. I mean, look at that. Look at those performances. And we've been a better team, according to you? We are awful. Actually, yeah, I'm going to point that out, actually. I am far from pleased with what I've seen from this team. I don't know what you've got to be demoted about. You're one of the worst defenders. Right, okay. That's not coming in anywhere other than back, is it? Oh my good God. You realise he headed that? You could have picked that up. What was that faffing about all about? You learn the rules, then we'll talk. Okay. Oh, hello. Walsh has been played through, and he scored. Oh, Liam Walsh. Macaulay played him in, acres of space, took a touch, slots it home. Wow. I'll be surprised if we hold on to it, but, well, who knows. Francis is clean through, and couldn't make it 3. I've got them set up to play the ball into space because obviously we're trying to sort of suck people onto us and then hit them on the counter, which at the moment is working. So, I mean, I hesitate to dish out praise to some people who are playing so badly, but what I can do, of course, is actually pick out individuals, and then we can say you, and you, and you, and you can all get some praise, and then the ones that didn't get praised, maybe they can have a think about why they didn't get the encouragement and the praise from the boss. Was it because I'm playing badly? Well, it might be, son. Right, Macaulay. Okay, well, let's give Erin Carlin a bit of a run out. Jamie Dunn, right, you can replace Quigley, who's absolutely shocking. Doherty can replace McGuinness, who's tired and terrible. That's probably it then, isn't it, really? 3 subs, it's normally a lot. Okay, let's do the instructions. Let's start time wasting like hell. Take that tempo down. Still stay direct, but we'll just go slow about it. You are joking me. I don't suppose I've got another substitution, have I? No, I haven't. So basically we are literally strikerless now. Literally strikerless. Because I made 3 substitutions and then you crippled my only forward, really, because the other ones just aren't up to it. But 2-1 win, first game. We'll take that. The tactics seemed to basically do exactly what we wanted it to do. We caught them on the break a few times, played the ball over the top, in behind them. Scored a couple of goals, could have had a third. And a calamitous bumbling effort gave them their first goal, their only goal. And yeah, I mean, as far as XG is concerned, I know a lot of that's a penalty, but not all of it by any means. So yeah, this tactic may just work. I'm not going to say that was really special. I don't think we played as well as we can. Certainly several of you didn't, but I'm not going to have a go today. Just bear in mind that I'm not going to put up with those sorts of performances very much longer. I don't think I was overly confident. We weren't comfortable, but we did get over the line. Their poor form, about our poor form, for heaven's sake. That is not poor form. That's average. That form. They'd won their last 2 games coming in. If that's their last one, if that's the order they've done that in, they won their last 2 games. That's not poor form, is it? although that belies that. Is one of them a cup game and you've not counted it in that? That's confusing. It's very confusing. Right, yeah. My players always believe in themselves. How do I know that? I've been here a week. Not even that. And I had to go on holiday for a brief period of that because the game threw a bit of a fit and just left me on the training screen and wouldn't continue. So I had to close it down, save it, close it down, and open the game up again. And it seems fine again now. But yeah, that was a bit irritating. So yeah, I went on holiday the first time it happened, and then I've had to try something different after that because I can't keep on going on holiday. So, well, that's given us a little bit of a cushion already, and we've got a few players on trial as well, by the way. Most of whom, I mean, this lot actually. While we're at it, this lot ain't any good, so they may as well go before they keep wasting our limited training resources. But William Freeman here looks like he might be half decent. So yeah, if we ever get to a point where we can use attacking wide players, he would be very useful. And would you believe it, we've got a Liberian on loan. And he looks like he could be a very useful defensive midfielder. So as long as he doesn't want much in the way of wages, I think we might well be nabbing him. Because I mean, look at this. This is decent. I mean, that's ball winning defender rather than defensive midfielder. But I mean, I can always put him in there as ball winning midfielder. I mean, he lacks pace. He has no pace whatsoever. But he is solid at everything else, and his positioning is probably good enough that he gets himself in positions where he doesn't need to sprint back in the first place, hopefully. And he's still got good work rate and stamina. I mean, he's going to put the effort in, he just can't get there very fast. Gets up to speed reasonably quickly, but that speed is snail-like. But anyway, yeah, so he looks promising as a potential free agent signing. And we've got some scouting going on with some people who are going to be out of contract in December, probably. So we'll have a look and see if we can snaffle some more people for free to just get some more quality in this squad and give us some options off the bench, really. What we really do need, especially now that Liam Walsh is injured, 2 to 4 weeks. That's put a dent in it, isn't it? I mean, Gareth Brown is probably going to. Gareth Brown's going to have to go in, and then I suppose Brendan McLaughlin's going to be the only other option, but he's really not very good. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't know if any of these people we're scouting are actually forwards. I mean, none of them are, obviously. Let me just have a look. These are the ones we're scouting. Not a forward amongst them. Brilliant. I'll tell you what we'll do then. What we'll do quickly, just before we leave the episode, we'll go to the director of football and say, could you please recommend, see if we've got free transfers. No. End of contract? No. Transfer? No. Man doesn't know a single forward in the entire world. Brilliant. Loving your work, mate. Right, are there any forwards at all anywhere? 49 that we know of. Great. Okay, a couple of them in a lower division, so maybe, just maybe. See again, pressing forwards. Where is it in Northern Ireland and pressing forwards? We actually produce people who can score goals rather than trying to nick the ball off the opposition so someone else can score one. Right, anyway, I'll stop waffling there. Let's just have a quick look at the schedule and see what we might do. I mean, we haven't got many games in November. We've got plenty in December. So, okay, Cup doesn't start until January. So I think what we'll do is we'll come back for the last couple of games of December. I think a bit of a Christmas special. Again, Boxing Day and the 28th. I mean, the 28th should be fun. It's against Linfield, who are Northern Ireland's most successful side. Oh, and Ballymanor again. So, oh, good. We get to play Larne before that, who are the money bags team in Northern Ireland, as far as I'm aware. But anyway, yeah. So we'll come back for these two games here: Ballymanor again and Linfield, and we'll see if we've managed to pick up a reasonable number of points in between. So, all that remains to be said is thank you for joining me. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.